Howdy y'all, welcome back to the Wright Brothers in our 9th installment of Love Letters from the Left. Now y'all know the drill. We do this in the spirit of the Greek philosopher Epictetus, who famously said, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. We carry this spirit on as we read the hate mail that we frequently encounter from our friends on the left-hand side of the aisle. And today, Trey and I are going to get into it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Love Letters from the Left, Volume 9.
Howdy y'all, welcome back. And we're just gonna get right down into it. It is Valentine's week, and in the spirit of love, we're going to delve into a little bit of the love that we've gotten from all over the political spectrum, but especially from our dear, dear friends on the left-hand side of the aisle, politically and socially. The first one that I have is, as all of y'all know, February is Black History Month, and this gentleman wanted to celebrate. This is how they wanted to do it. It's Black History Month. I don't want to see no interracial couples all month. And that was not all. He doubled down. He said, this is not a joke. Now, you can't find this tweet because it's been deleted, but I found it and saved it just for all of you. And as some of y'all might know, I am in an interracial marriage as it's going on 10 years. And so anytime somebody has something to say of this regard, it makes my ears perk up, and it's funny to see people's overreactions. And if any of y'all have seen the skit of the racist and the leftist, the woke and the racist, it's something like that. It was a really funny skit by a comedian, but how much of a mirror image the rhetoric is. You got to go watch it. It's really encapsulated by a lot of the replies under that tweet, which for some reason was deleted. Damani, did you see anything weird?
You know, I wonder why that tweet got deleted. Actually, no, I don't. I think we all know exactly why
Can't imagine.
that happened. So we move on. This one comes to us from the wonderful world of Twitter. This one comes to me specifically. This individual was extremely perturbed at my unwillingness to go along or go with the flow, if you will. And he says the following: drop your address, uncle, period. You seem like a tough guy selling out your own. I'm Irish, and I guarantee you I will kick that dot you so much of a big tough guys dot let met so me and you square off Uncle Tom dot one think us Irish hate our sellouts question mark. Please do see me, tough guy, period. I'll even pay you to meet me. You know, I don't understand what it is with, leftists and their penchant for violence at the drop of a hat. But, it goes without saying I did not respond to this message, but it kind of goes to show you the mental state of these individuals who we frequently interact with. They're not quite all there, and they seem to be given to violence. I will not participate in that, and nor should anyone who actually believes in peace through strength and peace through nonviolence. Trey, I'll throw it back over to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was going to pay you. That could have been an easy paycheck to pick up on there, but I mean, fortunately, we're not hurting for money, but just something to keep in the back of your mind. I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyways, moving on. We actually had a reply underneath the interracial couples tweet. There were so many replies. Most of them, 90% of them, 95% of them, extremely positive. We also had a couple negatives. One came from this gentleman who said, he was responding to someone who said, I will never understand people who frown upon interracial couples. I have seen some of the most beautiful couples and babies be interracial. What's not to love? Of course, I agree. I have two beautiful mixed kids, and they both drive me up a wall, and are the most amazing part of my life. And of course, I love my wife. I think I've said that on the show a couple of times, Damani. But this gentleman seems to disagree, and he disagrees along these lines because he says that interracial marriages are, quote, the destruction of thousands of years of genetic heritage for a fetish. So apparently, Damani, it is not love. In case you were unaware about your sister-in-law, it's just pure animalistic fetishizing that's been going on for damn near a decade, and I'm sorry you had to hear about it this way.
You know, I always wondered what it was. I'm just glad that some random stranger knows you and my sister-in-law better than I do. Wow, what a time to be alive. Moving on, remember, these are just the good ones. There's so many more comments that don't make the final cut because honestly, you know, some of these people don't even deserve the dignity that comes with a response from myself or my brother. So we press on. In a similar vein, you'll pick up on common themes when you engage with leftists, and that's that they are seemingly obsessed with the topic of race and seemingly obsessed with the way that topic dovetails with other social constructs, if you will. This message comes to me from YouTube, actually, and this message says, Damani was one of the ones storming the Capitol.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
He struck me as the guy that got a white girlfriend and now thinks he's white, with a laughing, crying emoji. First of all, let the record show
that's how it works. That's how it works.
Yeah, every single time. Let the record show, first and foremost, that I was not even in Washington, D.C. I was here in Texas trying to create content for all of y'all out there. There's no way, shape, or form that you can construe that as anything other than someone projecting onto me. And additionally, the quip about the white girlfriend, you kind of get this a lot, and Trey already talked about it. I won't belabor the point. It's just whenever leftists see someone who does not behave the way that they want them to behave, they immediately presume it must be for some ulterior motive. It cannot be just because that individual actually thinks for themselves. Such is the nature of identity politics that we strive to eliminate as we move forward. And with that, I'll throw it back to you, Trey.
Yep, Identity Politics 101. We're actually going to hop off of that for a quick second. Well, I thought we were going to hop off of it. We're going to hop off of the race train and hop onto the exciting world of gender. This one comes on a tweet from Sarah Rozzi, and we were talking about the minimum wage debate. She said, whenever someone recommends a $15 minimum wage, I just want someone to yeet an economics book at them. A common sentiment among anyone who has a modicum of understanding about the business world. But like I said, we're not going to get into that on this channel. That is a topic for a future Wright Brothers episode. She got a comment from someone who said that calling people uneducated for wanting to make a living and providing no actual information to support you would make you the troll. Kind of a garbled comment, and I wasn't going to address all of it, so I simply put, except that's not what happened, and I was just going to leave it alone. I often do this on Twitter, Facebook, other social media. I don't always have to address things point by point, even though I tend to get long-winded. Sometimes I just do a quick hitter and let it go. She didn't want to let it go. She came back and said, I just want someone to yet an economics book at them. She quoted and then misquoted, and then told me that I don't need you to mansplain. Thanks. So it was really kind of interesting because we could have had a debate over the minimum wage, but instead of doing that, the immediate reaction to the slightest hint of disagreement was to go straight to the corner of identity politics. And in this case, it just happened to be gender was the first card that was played. And there's just, that's what we rail against and fight against on this channel. Every single time we put out a video, identity politics is dead. And it's precisely because of issues like this. It kills the discourse before it can even get started. Of course, I responded on my own Twitter. You can probably go see it. It was a appropriately terse response. But if we can't even start from a good place, from a place of good faith on such a simple concept as minimum wage, then what are we really doing? Damani, do you have any idea?
Yeah, it's so funny watching a average leftist play hot potato, as it were, with different grievances, if you will. It really gets tiresome, but you know, they're really good at it. They should probably win a gold medal for that if one exists, and one probably will, because we live in participation trophy culture in 2021. Moving on. So this individual, you know, there are some people where I try to understand where they're coming from. Some people where I try to understand what their argument might be. And there are some times where individuals essentially projectile vomit whatever words pop into their head, and it's cobbled together randomly on the screen. You're going to see what I mean here in just a minute. This individual on Twitter says the following. Oh, it bears mentioning that this individual is a white individual, so you'll enjoy that.
Interesting.
It reads as follows. kill yourself.
Oh.
Uncle
Great, just strong opening.
Uncle Tom Stain. You f***ing roided out, no-net, pea-brained traitor. I'm sorry.
Wow.
He's not done. He says, go f*** your Trump doll some more.
Let it never be said that he was bashful.
Sometimes there's moments in your life when you have these moments of clarity, these epiphanies, if you will. And all I'm gonna say to this person is, I hope you get the help you need. And I'm sorry the insane asylums were shut down. Hopefully we can bring those back in the near future, specifically for you. I'll throw it back over to you now.
Did he say roided out?
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's a wow. Incredible. I'm sorry, I'm still reeling from that one. Next one I had was also regarding the whole interracial thing. That it caused quite a conflagration on my page, which sometimes I share stuff and it causes a stir, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really care because half the time I'm tweeting about the Spurs or my family or the Aggies or something anyway. People have to dig for my political tweets. But this gentleman found it and he did not appreciate the picture I put up of my family. Just taking a selfie out in downtown San Antonio. He told you. How dare I, indeed. He told me that your blood went from dark to light to white. Congrats. And just for the record, I donated plasma just earlier today, and the blood that came out of my vein, quite red once it was oxidized. I'm just saying. So I've checked and verified that my blood it's not white at all. And actually, that progression doesn't even make biological sense. But
stop annoying us with your logic and your sound reasoning. Please,
it has no place here.
This is the place for emotions only. Only emotions are allowed here.
I take it all back.
In that vein, he's talking about your blood changing colors. This individual thought it would be fun to lump all minorities into a box, as most liberals are wont to do. And they said the following. This comes to us from YouTube. It says, I love how the black guy, meaning me, of course, doesn't know that he's black. I knew something was up when I heard that sweet voice come out of that his mouth. Sometimes they just get better and better. I think every
I wasn't
now
ready
and
for
then
that one.
I think that we're done with this series sometimes, but then it's as if the left continues to raise the bar. Like it's a competition. Like that was impressive to me. What a way to go out with this 9th volume. We're about to hit double digits in these volumes, y'all. It's going to get crazy. But we want to shift gears a little bit. So instead of us reading this vitriol from our mentally unstable friends or foes on the left side of the aisle, I'm going to throw it over to my brother to change the pace a little bit for us.
Yeah, let's wrest the spotlight back from the ne'er-do-wells of the internet and put a spotlight on the right, if you will. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be, we don't want to be fawned over or praised or anything, or we're just a couple of regular dudes. And honestly, we get so much support on the daily that it's not really hard to find a lot, but even just a simple comment of encouragement, it goes a long way, especially because you see the type of crazy, wild, off the wall stuff that we have to deal with on the daily. So anytime we get something like that, it's always a really welcome pick-me-up. This gentleman says, thanks, I enjoy your commentary, keep it up. Short, sweet, to the point, completely unsolicited. We were talking about our families, I believe, but just out of the blue, and that really meant the world to me. It's just stuff like that makes it all worthwhile. That's not why we do what we do, but man, it always feels good. Damani, you got one?
Absolutely, I've got one as well, and then we'll bring this episode home. This message comes to us from Kayla Patterson in response to my 50 more questions for the mainstream media video. She says, I have no words. It's all true. All of it. My heart breaks for the people who actually buy into what the media is telling them. and you cannot talk to them about it because that just opens a can of worms no one wants to deal with, especially with family. You, sir, give me strength to speak truth to those who are missing the bigger picture. Thank you for all you do. I will pray God gives you everything you need to continue to do what you're doing. Never be silent. Well, thank you, Kayla. And to reiterate my brother Trey's sentiments, we could not say thank you enough. These comments, we do read each and every one of them, and these are the ones that really do keep us moving forward as we continue to move into this brave new world in which we find ourselves. I don't think y'all realize how much we appreciate all of you out there in the tribe who have watched and supported us, not just when we started in 2018, but through 2019, 2020, and now here in 2021. So we want to say thank you. We could not say thank you enough. And we want to say that we will still continue to be here, as we always say. We are not only here on YouTube, we are also on Facebook at the Wright Brothers IPID, which is the page that Trey runs. And we're also on a plethora of other social media sites out there. So if you know of it, odds are we're probably on it. And we'll add that information to the screen in case you want to go check us out there. We want to say thank you once again, and we will never stop saying thank you to those of you who continue to be the wind beneath our wings. Now, what we do also want to say is thank you to those of you who've taken it upon yourself to support us financially through Patreon. We could not do what we have done without your support, and we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being so generous so as to see our mission as it continues to move forward, because our mission is not over yet. So thank you to all of our patrons out there as well. And to everyone out there who's watching, if you did like this video, the last thing we'll ask you to do is to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with a friend. Identity politics is dead. I am guaranteed there will be more love letters from the left coming soon, and we can't wait to bring it to you. But until then, God bless you all. I'm Damani, that's Trey, and we will catch you in the next one.
The first revolution is when you change your mind about how you look at things and see that there might be another way to look at it that you have not been shown. The revolution will not be televised, and be no rerun, brothers and sisters. The revolution will be live.